Well, good morning. Live from the Illinois State Fair, it is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY, and we just got to thank the gods for this incredible weather we're having for the Illinois State Fair. It's blowing my mind, actually. Typically, it's always a crapshoot as to if we're going to have rain or severe weather, but each morning we've broadcast here has just been gorgeous. Again, watching over across the way here at Carnival Midway, North American Midway, the sun coming up, and you can find us here at the Reich Pavilion. We're the northwest corner, and we've got a lot to get to today here at Springfield's Morning News. Thank you so much for hanging out. I'm Greg Bishop. You can always call in live and local. We'll try to get your calls in where we can. 217-629-7970. But we do have a load of guests coming up. Today is Republican Day, so we'll actually be talking with the Republican candidate for governor, Darren Bailey. He'll join us after 7:10 this morning. Also, we'll talk with the Republican treasurer candidate, Tom Dimmer. He'll join us after 7:30. And Don Gray will join us after 8 o'clock to talk about voting and also the process of mail-in voting, which there's also a new update as far as permanent mail-in voting that you can register for. So we'll get details on all of that and more. Of course, it is Republican Day, and you've got a whole host of things going on, including harness racing. You've got cattle and sheep shows going on, and tonight's grandstand act is John Party. It's going to be a big concert tonight at the grandstand at the Reich Pavilion, where we're broadcasting here, the northwest corner. You've got a slew of guests there as well, free shows. Aaron Jones is going to be performing. So looking forward to that and a whole host of other bands there at the Reich Pavilion. But yesterday was Governor's Day at the Illinois State Fair, and Governor's Day brought out the various candidates for State House and for statewide. You had everybody from the House Speaker in Springfield to the Senate President to Governor J.B. Pritzker, U.S. Senator Dick Durbin. He's not on the ballot, but U.S. Senator Tammy Duckworth is. So they were here and sharing their thoughts about a variety of things, and also trying to contrast themselves with Republicans. And a lot of the messaging was that Republicans are extreme and radical and fringe, and Democrats are the ones, they say, are going to be for the working class and for government services and so on. And they had the brunch off-site at the Bank of Springfield Center, where hundreds of people gathered to rally with Democrats, and they heard longer speeches for the brunch, and then they came out here to the fairgrounds at the director's lawn, which is right next to Conservation World. And I hadn't seen this yet until I got to the fairgrounds and actually walked onto the director's lawn. A massive stage that they erected, a pavilion that they erected on the director's lawn. Looked pretty expensive, but it was obviously something that was set up because they had Chris Young performing yesterday at the Governor's Day events on the director's lawn. But I do want to get to what was brought up during media Q&A, and you've of course got the prepared speeches that were delivered at the brunch, truncated speeches delivered at the Governor's Day events here on the fairgrounds, but you also had a little bit of what we call a scrum in the media business, where media is literally stacked on top of each other with tons of microphones out towards the subject that's being interviewed. And Governor J.B. Pritzker took a few questions. Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton took a few questions. And here's how that played out yesterday at the Governor's Day events here in Springfield at the Illinois State Fair.
A lot of talk of unity. There has been some fence mending, though, needed after a bruising primary for some. And we didn't enjoy the vaccine and all of that. But it looks as if people are ready to move forward.
Did you see this morning at the Democrats' brunch? I'm the one who stood up and said we got to elect Alexi Giannoulias as our Secretary of State. I'm so excited about our ticket. We're going to win in November, and Alexi's a great part of that.
Do you see everything?
We're working very hard to put together. We've obviously got working groups in the House that are doing their work, so they come back to me and let me know when they're ready and what bill we can work on before the election and after the election.
So Darren Bailey obviously has taken some hits in the last month or so. How are you feeling? Are you feeling pretty confident? Is this cakewalk for you?
Well, we're running on the issues that I just talked about, the things that we've actually gotten done for working families across Illinois. So I think that we're going to win because people understand that Democrats are delivering.
How do you feel that you and Governor are on the same page?
I'm sorry.
How do you feel that you and Governor are on the same page regarding the Democratic Party when there was some conflict between who the party cares about?
Oh, that's something that you guys in the press are doing. Dick Durbin and I are friends. We've worked together on many issues. Tammy Duckworth, Dick Durbin, Juliana Stratton, our statewide elected officials all work together for the good of Illinois.
Governor Kelly said she didn't want to be here today because she didn't want it to seem like it was all honky-dory with everybody in the party. What can you do to help mend these fences?
Well, we had lots of Congress people here today, as you probably know. Raja Krishnamurti was up on stage today. We had Bill Foster last night. We've got most of our delegation has either checked in with or come to the state fair and been part of our festivities.
Is there fences that need to be mended here?
I don't think so. I actually think we're all working pretty well together. If people feel that way, they should stand up and come see any of us that they want to talk to.
Governor, how much did the party cost? How much did this cost? Setting up the stage.
And Governor just waved off my question.
You've heard what?
I heard Bruce Brown's name and go more times today than Darren Bailey. What gives? I mean, is it not time to move on from the Rounder area?
Well, Hannah, you didn't hear that out of my mouth. You heard me talking about the issues that Democrats stand for, that we're going to stand up for women's right to choose, that we're going to make sure that we're banning assault weapons and getting rid of our high-capacity magazines that people are using in these deadly, deadly attacks. There are many issues that I've worked on for the last 4 years. We're going to continue on with making sure that we're providing free college for people that are at or below median income in Illinois. So we've got a lot of work to do, and I'm pressing forward with the issues that are important for the people of Illinois.
Governor Darren Bailey has a new announcement out today.
Governor, there are a series of tweets and Facebook posts from Stephanie Trussell that have come up. She talks
Now
about
questions for Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton.
Bathrooms that people would have to use a DNA sample to sort of identify which bathroom you used. What do you make of those posts from the Lieutenant Governor candidate on the Republican side?
Well, they're disgusting, and at the same time, they're not surprising. What I would say is it's another indication that Darren Bailey and Stephanie Trussell are not fit to lead this state. And J.B. Pritzker is going to continue being our governor with the hard work of the Democrats that are standing behind us today, and we're going to move our state forward.
So that was some of the Q&A that the various members of the media had with Governor J.B. Pritzker and Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton. And again, I asked the question about how much the party cost because they built an entire pavilion out there and they brought in a National Country Act, and the governor just waving off my question. We'll get to another question that I raised to another Democratic elected official, and that's Attorney General Kwame Raoul. I was able to have a few moments with him. Stay tuned. We'll get to that next here with Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk as we broadcast live from the Illinois State Fair this morning. An absolutely gorgeous director. So yesterday at Illinois State Fair, Governor's Day, I saw Attorney General Kwame Raoul, and I asked him why this case isn't being investigated, or rather why it's not being prosecuted, the workers' comp fraud case. The overtime fraud is being prosecuted in Sangamon County Court by the appellate prosecutor, but the workers' comp fraud has not been filed as a criminal case, and the Attorney General has given several different reasons as to why. Here's what he had to say yesterday at the Illinois State Fair.
Really quick on the Jenny Thornley thing. There were 3 different reasons given. One in a letter to CMS, I think.
The bottom line there is that we referred the case. Way back. No, let me finish. You asked me a question. Let me finish. Way back. The state appellate prosecutor had the case. We had 3 cases that there was a conflict on. If there was a cover-up, we would not have communicated with the Sangamon State state's attorney and the appellate prosecutor already had a case against Jenny Thornton. And so that's it. There's nothing else to be said on that case.
It seems though there were 3 different reasons given. One was no jurisdiction or authority. Another one was a conflict.
So what's your ultimate question?
Why is this being prosecuted?
You have to to ask the state appellate prosecutor already has a case against Ms. Thornley as to what their strategy is, which they may or may not share with you. We are conflicted out. I can't say that. There's only so many times I can say it. Thank you for your question.
And then the Attorney General tapped me 3 times on the shoulder and walked off and didn't take any more questions. But obviously there's still some very overarching questions, because he says that he referred the case to the state's Attorney Appellate Prosecutor's Office, but I have not seen any indication that that's the case. I've seen it actually is the opposite. While there may have been emails going back and forth, the state's Attorney Appellate Prosecutor has not been ordered by a court to prosecute this workers' comp fraud allegation. And in a letter that the Appellate Prosecutor's Office sent to the Attorney General's office, they said that they have no history of prosecuting workers' comp cases, and that seems to be primarily done by the Attorney General's office. So still some very interesting questions here, and in particular because it has some political ramifications that goes all the way up to the governor's office, because investigations have shown that Jenny Thornley was quick to use her relationship with the Pritzkers as leverage, so to speak, and even an indication that she texted the First Lady, M.K. Pritzker, that JB needs to know what's going on. So the story's far from over. We'll obviously bring you the latest on that and more. So yesterday was Governor's Day. Today is Republican Day. We will be talking with the Republican candidate for Governor, Darren Bailey, after 7 o'clock this morning. So stay tuned. It's all here live from the Illinois State Fair.